Okay, in this video, we will go over the reference of trig functions. And so we have a nice triangle here. It's a right triangle. And our angle is going to be from here. And just a couple of terminology. We call this opposite because it's opposite of the angle. We're saying that this part right here is the angle we're referencing. And so this side right here is opposite. It's directly opposite of this angle. Next, we call this hypotenuse. It's diagonal from the right triangle, right angle. So hypotenuse is directly away from the right angle. And lastly, we say that this right here is adjacent. It's next to the angle given here. And so now we'll go over sine, cosine, tangent, and what does it actually mean. So sine theta, so this is theta, so sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So let's say that this is the opposite. And let's say opposite is 4. Hypotenuse, let's say it's 5. So the answer for this would be sine theta is equal to 4 over 5. Next, we'll do cosine theta. Cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent over hypotenuse. Next, we want to do tan theta. And tan theta is opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. Next, we have cosecant theta. And cosecant theta is hypotenuse over opposite. Hypotenuse over opposite. So it's the opposite of sine theta. Next, we have secant theta. Secant theta is hypotenuse over adjacent. So it's the opposite of cosine theta. Lastly, we have cotangent theta. Cotangent theta is adjacent over opposite. Cotangent theta is adjacent over opposite. So this is really important to memorize. Next, this will be a tip so you can memorize it. So sine theta. A tip is SOHCAHTOA. So so is S-O-H, ka is C-A-H, and to is T-O-A. And so SOHCAHTOA. So S is sine, so sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Next we'll do cosine theta. So ka. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. And lastly, we have to. So tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. And it's important to remember the reciprocal of sine theta is cosecant theta. So it's just the opposite. So instead of opposite over hypotenuse, it's going to be hypotenuse over opposite. Secant theta is the reciprocal of cosine theta. So instead of adjacent over hypotenuse, it's hypotenuse over adjacent. And cotangent theta is the reciprocal of tan theta. So instead of opposite over adjacent, it's adjacent over opposite. So this right here is very important to memorize. And that's about it.